And for now, we want to take you to the Western Cape, where our reporter Abra Barbier is currently at. Abra, I believe you are at a high school in Cape Town. Just talk to us about how the 2 days of special voting has gone in Cape Town specifically, and of course, where you are and what's happening there.
Unati, hi. Yeah, there's just a bit of confusion here where I am now. Unfortunately, us in the IEC here at our where we are stationed don't seem to be on the same page in terms of where we are allowed to film from. There are obviously rules around that. It all just depends on the presiding officer at the venue, and obviously we were not welcome inside at this station, but that's fine. Yeah, so that's why we had to move around a bit. But I also just want from a statement sent by the presiding officers of Parliament, because as you know, we have about 50 minutes left for special voters to come and make their mark today. And the presiding officers of Parliament are encouraging all registered voters to exercise their right to vote, as it is crucial for shaping the future of our nation. Do not let others decide your future for you. So that was from the presiding officers of Parliament, of the National Assembly and the NCOP. Again, just letting people know how important it is for them to go out and vote. And that's the message that I think everybody, the media, political parties, analysts, the IEC have been driving over the past few weeks and days leading up to tomorrow. So the special votes, this station we are at, I think there are about 17 voters who are registered here, who applied for special votes, who are yet to come and vote. We don't know if they'll be here by 5 o'clock or if they are going to come at all, but 17 people who applied at this station, they are still waiting for them to come before they close this voting station at 5. But what we do know is, of course, all the special votes that were done over the last 2 days won't be counted today. Those will be counted when all the other votes are in after tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, is the big day where there's going to be a big turnout, hopefully, at all the voting stations. And we will, of course, be on the ground. Hopefully, we will have good relationships with the IEC at the other voting stations that we will be at. But yeah, just hoping for the best for all of us. Unati?
Abra, before I let you go, I want to talk about tomorrow, of course. In as far as the concerns that you have about the IEC today, hopefully, you know, we will get some clarity in terms of how the IEC is dealing with a number of issues that have been raised on the ground, you know, over the past 2 days. But in as far as tomorrow is concerned, I mean, are you getting a sense that South Africans are actually excited to vote come tomorrow?
Unati, do you know what? I actually don't know how to answer that question. The voting station we were at earlier on, where we actually spoke to the residents at the Frail Care Centre. And I mean, these are people who are in their 70s and 80s who applied for the special vote. They gave me very eloquent explanations as to why it is so important to go out and vote. The one gentleman still said, you know, while I still can, while I'm still on earth, I feel it's important for me to be here. So they were very diligent about it, and they were calling on South Africans. And I asked them to have a message for the young people, and they said, yes, please, you need to go out and vote. So that's the one picture that I'm getting. I just got a message on my phone now as well from somebody saying, I need to decide tonight who I'm going to vote for tomorrow. Now, because I'm a journalist, my friends and family all think I'm extremely intelligent when it comes to these things. So they're always asking me, Abra, who must we vote for? Like I have, you know, like extra special powers where this is concerned. And I just tell people, vote for whoever you think is aligned with what you believe in. Another colleague of mine said he's no longer voting for ideologies. He's voting for actual issues where he can see a difference in his life. And that is the big thing this election. I spoke to an analyst as well, Professor Cheryl Africa, who will be one of our resident analysts here in the Western Cape. And I was asking a whole bunch of like ideological questions. And what she said to me was, there are so many things happening in the country at the moment. Not only that, for the first time we have a foreign policy issue, which is the Palestine-Israel issue, which could affect how certain people vote a certain part of our demographic votes in South Africa. But like Cheryl said, Professor Africa said, as important and as critical as the Palestine issue is, the question people need to ask themselves, how is that going to put food on my table? How is that going to give me access to good health care? How is that going to give my kids access to good education? And she said what people are voting for this time around is literally, do I buy food for my kids or do I put petrol in my car to go to work? And this is the daily reality of South Africans across the board, across class sectors. Everybody I speak to seems to be in the same boat where this is concerned. So people are literally voting for the better life, Unati. But like I say, it's a double-edged sword because voter apathy. I saw a gentleman on air earlier on saying, why must I go vote? I don't have a job. I don't have money. That's his attitude. But obviously, he's not making any change for himself with that attitude. So, like I say, it's a difficult question to answer. But hopefully, people will listen to what the presiding officers of Parliament said, where they said, don't let somebody else make the decision for you. Unati?
Absolutely, Abra. And I mean, at the heart of that is a very personal decision too for people to make. And I totally agree with that sentiment. It's a sentiment that I think a lot of South Africans share in as far as that is concerned. Abra Barbier, thank you so much for that. Of course, she's coming to us live there from Cape Town. A number of issues that she's been raising, of course, will also perhaps be addressed by the IEC when it briefs the media at 6 o'clock this afternoon or this evening as it reflects back on the 2 days of special votes.